Hi guys, this is Kelly Martin. I'm a traditionally and independently published author, and today we're talking about how to write a synopsis. I've also decided to do this in a PowerPoint presentation. I know, contain your excitement, please. Now, some people love to write a synopsis, and some people definitely don't. They aren't easy and they take practice and skill. I'm going to give you the basics of writing a synopsis, and then in the description, I'll give you links to great resources on how to write a synopsis. How I write a synopsis is a hodgepodge of everything I've read online in the past 7 years and some of my own things that I've learned. So, a lot of websites and a lot of places and a lot of people will tell you about the same things with a little bit of variance in there. So, that is good. Seems that we're all basically on the same page of writing a synopsis. All right, let's get into it. What is a synopsis? A synopsis is a summary of a book that tells the reader a few things. It has to have the character, the plot, and how it unfolds. A synopsis should do a few things. One, it needs to tell what's in your book without the agent or publisher having to read it all beforehand. And number two, it needs to be intriguing. Think of it as a movie trailer. A trailer tells you all the juicy parts to make what you want to read more or what you want to see more. Only a synopsis goes deeper by giving away the ending and specific and relevant plot points along the way. Yeah, you actually have to give up your ending and your synopsis. And no, no, I'm not lying about that. So, along with the ending, you need to include a complete arc of the story and use your own voice. Don't make it sound professional in quotation marks because even though it is in a professional letter or email, this is your chance to let your writing style shine through, which can be difficult to achieve in a synopsis. Basically, usually because we want it to be, perfect. We want it to sound perfect, and writing voice usually is not perfect. So, how long should your synopsis be? Well, let's start right here. How do I begin? Now, this is what I do. You begin at the beginning of your book. I write my synopsis from the very first line of the book to the very end of the book. So basically, I summarize my book, my however long, 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, you can go up to 100,000 word book in 2 pages, which is why I think synopsis, a synopsis can be really intimidating. Also, you need to use caps for character names the first time you meet them, which is Ivy Black. Now, how long should your synopsis be? It should be no more than 1 to 2 typed single-spaced pages in a 12-point font. They still have to be readable, but you don't want to do, like, of course, an 8-point font so you can get everything in there. It still needs to be readable. You need to have everything in there. Also, some agents only want a brief synopsis, which is only 1 to 2 paragraphs. So be sure to have that handy too when you're querying. But for our purposes, we're mainly going to focus on long synopses. Synopsis. When I write a synopsis, I start at the beginning of the story and I summarize the entire book. A trade tip is to write your synopsis in third person present tense. The thinking is that it engages the reader or the publisher or the agent in this case when they read it and they want to keep going. Third person keeps the agent or editor fully concentrated on who he or she is reading about. Reading a lot of I's in a day can be overwhelming. Like I like the letter I. Alright, be sure to introduce your main character with capital letters. We've talked about that. For the sake of brevity, you may not be able to have each character in your book in your synopsis. And don't just name drop and leave it. If a person isn't a main character or essential to the plot and you're over your 1 to 2 page limit, don't add them in your synopsis. Focus on your main characters, their journey, their arc, and their relationship with other people. The next thing you need to do is, basically, I know, it kind of sounds like that's all I have to do. I have to summarize this big, long story into 1 to 2 pages, and I have to capitalize, and I have to figure out who to drop and who not to drop, and start at the beginning, go to the end. That's it? That's all I have to do? Well, no. No, that's not. You need to show what is unique about your book. If you're writing about vampires, I said that really weird. If you're writing about vampires, you need to tell what makes them special and different. Tell how you're using your voice, your tone, even if you're writing in a different tense than you're writing your synopsis. Bring out your book's personality in the synopsis. Have you ever read a really dry 1 to 2 page paper? It feels like 50 pages, doesn't it? Doesn't it? That sounds very Southern. Like none of the rest of this sounds Southern. It feels like 50 pages, doesn't it? Well, we don't want an agent or publisher to feel that way about you or your story. So make your synopsis engaging with your voice and tell why your book is special. What new things are you bringing to your genre? And here we go again with the telling the end of your novel. This isn't the time to skimp. If you write a mystery, don't keep who the killer is a secret. This is a synopsis, not the day Endgame came out on Twitter. Spoilers are good in this case. It's a difficult thing because no, you aren't selling your agent or editor to read your book, but you kind of are. You are in a different way. Your hook, your voice, your characters, your unique quality, all that is what an agent or publisher is looking for. It's not like a movie where it's spoiled by knowing the ending. Alright, yes, you seriously want me to tell the ending. Yes, this is what we just talked about. Agents, editors, or publishers aren't looking to be entertained by the quality of your story. They're looking for things like voice, hook, characters, quality, and the meat of the story. Make sure your synopsis is engaging, not dry. Anything else? Yes, if you can tell from the slide. There's a few things. Edit. Get someone to read your synopsis. If you want, you can give them a questionnaire about your story based on your synopsis, basically what they assume happens in your story based on what you wrote. Is it boring? Do they know the voice? Where did they get bored? What made them bored? And use their feedback to work and rework your synopsis. Now, we're going to look at a real life example of a synopsis. But first, we're going to do a very short exercise. Think about the nursery rhyme Jack and Jill. Yes, we're going to write a synopsis about Jack and Jill. Okay, you know the nursery rhyme, right? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. How can we use what we know about a synopsis to turn that nursery rhyme into a synopsis? Well, all right. Children, Jack and Jill, take a pail and run up a hill to get water. When they get to the top of the hill, Jack falls down, rolling down the hill. On the way, he breaks his crown. Jill tumbles after him. A few things to notice here. I know it's a little silly, but we're going to notice it anyway. Jack and Jill are capitalized the first time we meet them. But the next time we talk about Jack and Jill, they're not capitalized. You only have to capitalize when you first meet them. Also, we have the ending. We know Jack's going to break his crown and Jill's going to tumble after him. It's not a spoiler. We know why they're going up a hill, and we know what happens when they get to the top. We know the entire story in a different form. We know the ages of Jack and Jill. I don't know if Jack and Jill are children. They are in the nursery rhymes, so we're just going to go with it with that. So it's in third person because it's Jack and Jill, not I or we. It's not we take a pail and run up to get water. When we get to the top, I fall down and then Jill comes after me. It's not how it is. And it's in present tense. When they get to the top of the hill, Jack falls down. It's not when they got to the top of the hill, Jack fell down. It just makes it more engaging. It makes it easier to connect to when it's in present tense. And present tense is difficult for some people, especially when you wrote your whole book in third person. Let's say you wrote your whole book in third person, in first person past tense, and then you have to change all that to put it in to third person present tense, and it can be a little daunting. That's why you probably need a few chances to practice before you actually send it to an agent. Now, example 2 is my book, Trinity Row. Now, the thing about this one is I'm actually not going to give you the last half of the synopsis, because I don't want to spoil it for you. This is, you're not an agent or publisher. Sorry about that. And I don't want to spoil the ending of the book if you want to read it. So just know that when I sent this out, it did have the ending to it. But I still wanted to give you a little bit of information or to see how I wrote my synopsis. All right. On the edge of Lawrence, Tennessee, where the street turns into a dirt road and the city tapers off into fields, Trinity Row stands. And I did capitalize Trinity Row because honestly, in this story, even though Trinity Row is a house, it really is one of the main characters in the story. It's even the title of the story. A Southern Gothic design with turrets and elaborate carvings all around, Trinity Row is known around town as the house that won't die. 16-year-old Ivy Black noticed I capitalized her name, and her mom, Amber, capitalized by Trinity Row to renovate thanks to a tip from Amber's old high school friend turned real estate agent, Jane. She's important too. After they buy the house for just $1, Amber plans on selling it and making a nice profit to get another house and maybe, hopefully, stop running from the past that has chased them for 3 years. It kind of gives you a little bit of the backstory, but we're not info dumping. We're kind of gonna add to it as we go on. Old Man Jenkins, which is capitalized, aka Wes Jenkins, who is 84 and has been in various mental institutions since his teens, frantically tries to stop Ivy and Amber from going inside the house. He can only shout no, but that one word is pleading. John Jenkins, capitalized, a 17-year-old boy who lives nearby, runs up to stop Wes from harassing the new homeowners. He tells Wes that everything is okay, that he will take care of them, and for Wes to remember. Reluctantly, Wes leaves, and John formally introduces them to Trinity Row. Soon after, Mama and Ivy go inside. I should have had Amber and Ivy, sorry. Or at least change. Well, I don't know. I think it could work. And are pleasantly surprised that the inside isn't nearly as run down as the outside. It had obviously been updated in the 50s and 60s and is a strange mix of Victorian Gothic and mid-century design. Still, the house is standing fairly clean, and Ivy doesn't think it will take long to renovate it. That's fine with her because she is ready to move on. She never wants to stop running. So that tells there's something at the end that you're going to find out that they're running from. And normally I wouldn't give this much detail on a house, but like I said, the house is like one of the main characters in the book. So I kind of felt I needed to. Mama hears a voice upstairs and thinks it's Jane. She tells Ivy to go up backstairs Sorry, I'm stuttering a little bit. And meet her on the second floor. Ivy does and runs into Dara Lynn, a 16-year-old neighbor who explains to Ivy that she likes to come to the house because it's nice and quiet. The next night, Ivy orders pizza and meets delivery man Nate. Nate is an important character, so he's capitalized. Nate tells her that people in town fear Trinity Row and makes her promise to be careful. Later, Ivy hears banging downstairs. Upon investigation, she hears someone yell, "Help me," under the floorboards. Turns out it was Dara Lynn, who explains that her grandmother uses the abandoned cellar as a place to store her canning jars. The next day, Ivy goes on the porch. When she does, the floor gives way and she ends up flat on her butt under the porch, which seems at least 10 feet above her. John shows up to help and they find a locked cellar door down there. Ivy wants to try to open it, but her mother gets there in time to help them get out before they can. Throughout all of this, Ivy's mother has been having bad mood swings. One minute she's happy, the next she's angry and throwing the past in Ivy's face. During one fight, Ivy runs from the house and ends up at the pizza place. She explains to Nate that her mom has every reason to hate her, but up until now, she's never said it out loud. Ivy goes home and her mom acts like nothing has happened. Once her mama is in bed, Ivy faces her fear of mirrors and sneaks into the bathroom for a bath. That kind of tells a little quirk Ivy has. She closes her eyes and has a very real nightmare that the mirrors show her naked reflection and John is standing at the door watching her. Now, I know that seems a little long, but when I have it in Microsoft Word, the whole query, or not query, I keep saying that, the whole synopsis is 2 pages long. So that's about the sweet spot for a synopsis. So the things I really wanted to show you in that are what we're going to go over here. Remember, capitalized names, the first time they're mentioned. For example, Ivy Black was capitalized like this the first time they're mentioned, so whoever reads it knows that they are an important character. Number 2, no more than 2 pages single space. At least it's single space and not double space. Gives you double the writing room there. Number 3, tell the exact story. Leave out side characters unless they relate to the main plot, because that helps you get down to 1 to 2 pages. Number 5, write in third person present tense, even if your book isn't. And number 6, get proofreaders and ask them questions about your story. All right, guys, that is it. I upload videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more writing, reading, and publishing content. This was a topic that you guys voted on in not this Tuesday's video, but last Tuesday's video. It was a tie between this and my recent reads. Please like this video if you thought it was any way likable. It also lets me know if you like topics like this, so I know what sorts of videos interest you. If you want daily up-to-date things on my reading and writing life, check out my Instagram at Kelly Martin Author. If you hear the phone ringing, I'm sorry. My pen name also has an Instagram. If you love sweet romances, she is Marty K. Author. Subscribe to my newsletter for information on my books and sales. You can find it on my website at kellymartinbooks.com. I'll see you in next Thursday's video with a video that you're voting on right now in the recent reads video. Your choices are 1, 5 horror books you need to read. Number 2, why first lines are important. And number 3, favorite writing videos on YouTube that give great advice for free. If any of those topics interest you, head over to Thursday's video. I'm going to link it in the cards. And you can vote in the comments because they took my poll feature away. Not just mine, they took everybody's poll feature away. It's sad. But we can leave in the comments. It's fine. So I want you to have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Instagram. If you have any questions about how to write a synopsis, if this is not clear, you can ask in the comments, and I will also leave links in the description that tells some more details about how to write a synopsis. All right, guys, be kind to each other, and I will see you Tuesday. Bye.